If you skip these 5 exercises, there's a good chance you'll look back a decade from now wishing you'd started them today. They're not flashy, they're not the latest trend, but they're exactly why my students are still moving strong into their 60s, 70s, and 80s, while others around them are falling apart. These movements act like an insurance policy for your knees, spine, hips, balance, confidence, and your whole movement system. They create a foundation that typical strength training doesn't fully address. So let's dive into these 5 key movements. Number 1, handstands and their wall-based variations. Handstands aren't just a trick, they're a full-body checkup. They reveal everything: shoulder range, scapula stability, core activation, wrist durability. But beyond that, they show you how you handle stress, disorientation, and especially fear. Because going upside down isn't just a physical act, it's a direct challenge to your personal limits, to your breath control, and to your panic instincts. Most people miss the point. Handstand training isn't about nailing the handstand, it's about everything you gain along the way. But to reap those rewards, you've got to train the right way, with progressions. Most people skip the build-up, kick up randomly, and pray it works. There's no structure, no shoulder prep, no core or rib control, no concept of stacking the spine properly. Let's be honest, if you're just launching yourself at a wall, hoping for the best, you're not training, you're gambling. And the handstand doesn't pay out to gamblers. It rewards consistency and precision. That means dialing in the basics: shoulder motion, scapular strength, rib positioning, wrist support, and core compression. And you start that training on the floor, not against the wall. You master the position lying down, and only then do you begin to stack it vertically. That's when you can move into drills like wall holds, box handstands, shoulder taps, alignment work, and eventually freestanding handstands and presses. But all of that only happens if your base is solid, repeatable, and earned. I remember the first time I tried a chest-to-wall handstand. I couldn't even get into position. My ribs flared, my neck locked up, my mind freaked out. It wasn't about falling, it was the fear of not being in control. That's what handstands teach you, how to control your body when it's under pressure. And here's the key. Handstands aren't really about balance, they're about awareness. That's their power. When you learn to organize your body upside down, you gain a whole new level of command over every other type of movement. So what does practicing handstands really give you? It restores true overhead function. It reconnects your upper body and core. It builds fearless strength in unfamiliar positions. And most importantly, it trains you to stop defaulting to fear when the ground disappears. So no, this isn't about handstands. It's about what handstands ask of your body. That's the real magic. And if you're already noticing stiffness, poor mobility, a loss of balance, or that your body just doesn't feel like it used to, then this is something you need right now. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because I've got plenty more videos that can help you move better, feel stronger, and stay active for years to come. There are other videos on my channel that will help you even further, so be sure to check them out when you're ready to take the next step. Number 2. Crawling, ground movement, and squat transitions. This is where we go primal. Crawling isn't just something babies do, it's how your brain first learned to coordinate. It's where your left arm started syncing with your right leg. It's how your nervous system began developing rhythm, control, and awareness of space. But somewhere along the way, most adults lost that connection entirely. We sit in chairs all day, move inside machines, and walk only in straight lines. We've forgotten how to connect with the floor, and as a result, we've lost touch with how to move, how to feel our bodies, how to interact with the space around us. Crawling isn't just cardio, and it's not just a warm-up. It's a way to reintegrate your body. It brings your joints back into coordination, forcing your core to actually function instead of just look toned. Then there are squat transitions, getting down to the ground and back up again. If you can't do that without using your hands, you've already started losing your independence. These movements are what keep people out of assisted living. Now don't get overwhelmed. You don't need some fancy ground flow routine. Just start with basic crawling. Hands and toes on the ground, knees hovering low. Move opposite limbs together, right hand, left foot. Slow, controlled, and focused on your breath. Can you even feel the difference between your right and left sides? Then drop into a deep squat. Shift your weight, feel the movement. Now link it all together. Crawl into a squat, roll down into it, sit through it. It's not about sets or reps, it's about re-exploring movement. This is how your hips begin to open naturally. This is how your spine regains its ability to twist and rotate. This is how your nervous system relearns movement solutions without needing constant coaching or cues. And yes, it'll feel awkward. That's normal. I've seen elite athletes trembling after a minute of crawling, not from weakness, but from lack of practice in this kind of deep, functional strength. The biggest mistake people make is dismissing this stuff as too easy, too slow, too basic, or worse, too embarrassing. But here's the truth. If you can't move freely and confidently on the floor, you don't really own your body. Not in any useful way. Here's how I want you to think about this. Crawling is re-education. It teaches your body to move without excess tension. Squat transitions, on the other hand, are real-world strength. Being able to move to and from the ground without support, without thought, without your hands. That's real independence. So where does this take you? It helps you stop moving in disconnected pieces. You gain fluid, confident motion again. You start trusting your body, not because it looks strong, but because it actually is strong. And I truly believe that crawling, locomotion, and movements that challenge alignment are key to unlocking full body freedom, preventing injury, and sustaining real movement quality into your later years. Number 3, single leg balance and training one side at a time. The truth is, most injuries happen when you're on one leg, and nobody talks about it. You step wrong, land unevenly, twist to catch yourself, and in that 1 second, your body either holds it together or it doesn't. And if you've never trained for that moment, that's when injury strikes. Single leg balance isn't just about standing still. It's not just for seniors or rehab. It's your body's ability to stabilize, adjust, and react in real time. What people miss is that balance is strength. And real strength is being able to load and control one side of your body without tipping over or losing your form. That's where unilateral work comes in. Movements like split squats, step-ups, curtsy lunges, reverse lunges, and airplane deadlifts. These aren't bonus exercises, they're core essentials. Because they don't just build muscle, they expose weaknesses. They show you where you're compensating, which ankle collapses, which hip can't stabilize, which knee gives way. I've seen people who can squat massive weights with a barbell completely fall apart during a slow, steady Bulgarian split squat. Not because they're weak overall, but because they've never developed one-sided control. This kind of training builds your foundation, starting from the ground up. You strengthen your foot's arch, stabilize the knee in multiple directions, and teach your hips to stay steady while the rest of your body moves. When you combine balance training with loading one side at a time, you're not just getting stronger, you're making your body more durable. What throws most people off is assuming these movements are easier or less intense. But anyone who's trained them properly will tell you, a slow, clean set of split squats is brutal. An RDL with your arms extended out front? Humbling? Holding balance while rotating, reaching, and breathing? That's real athleticism. This is your stability system. It's not about standing on one leg. It's about training your joints, muscles, and nervous system to handle real-world challenges. Because real life doesn't happen in perfect symmetry. You move, jump, twist, climb, reach, all from one leg, one side, one pivot point. So training unilaterally prepares you for life itself. Where does this take you? You'll start fixing long-ignored imbalances. You'll regain control of your hips and feet. You'll finally correct that weaker side you've been compensating for. And most importantly, you'll stop getting caught off guard when your body is pulled off center. Because now you're ready for it. Number 4, dynamic backbends and spinal extension. Let's be honest. Most people move like they've been folded forward since 2007. Their chest is caved in, their hips are tight, their shoulders rounded. And there's no real ability to open the spine, to lift the chest, or extend through the body. That's not just bad posture, that's full body shutdown. Most folks don't even realize their spine is supposed to move in segments. The loss of extension is so slow and sneaky they don't notice it's gone. Until one day they try to reach up, breathe deeply or bend back, and their body just locks up. Here's what you need to understand. Spinal extension isn't optional. It's not reserved for yogis, dancers, or super flexible people. It's essential for breathing fully, rotating properly, stabilizing your pelvis, holding your head up, and standing tall in your own skin. Backbends don't just open you up, they realign you. They decompress your spine, they rehydrate your discs, they teach your shoulders to support, not strangle you. But this movement has to be earned. This is where most people mess it up. They try to yank themselves into a deep bridge before their thoracic spine is even mobile. They crank into their low back without control, and then wonder why they're in pain. You don't start with a deep wheel pose. You start with breathing, with glute bridges, with learning how to lift your chest without collapsing your lumbar spine. It's all about mechanics, building the ability to move with intention, not just forcing range. I've watched people eliminate chronic back pain, not by stretching endlessly, but by restoring motion in the right places, the upper spine, the hips, and through intentional breathing. Because true backbending isn't passive, it's active, strong, and courageous. It's control in one of the most feared positions of the body. And when done right, it doesn't feel like strain. It feels like freedom. The biggest myth? That extension is risky or unnecessary, but the real danger is not extending. Spending a lifetime hunched forward, shrinking, compressing, until your joints can't move the other way. Think of it this way. If you only ever move forward, you will eventually get stuck there. Backbending is how you push back. It's how you reclaim the other half of your movement potential. So what's the payoff? You breathe better. You stand taller. Your spine starts to move like a wave, not a stiff stack. You break free from the posture that modern life forced on you. This isn't about being flexible, it's about reclaiming your body, your breath, your presence, and your power. Number 5, chair dips. Let's talk about something most people don't notice until it's too late. The simple act of pushing yourself up, off a chair, off the floor, out of bed. You don't think twice about it, until one day you go to push, and nothing happens. Your arms tremble, your shoulders pinch. Your body doesn't respond the way it used to. That's where chair dips come in. And no, this isn't just some arm-toning move from a magazine. This is raw, foundational strength, the kind that keeps you moving, rising, living. You face away from a chair or a low surface, hands behind you, fingers gripping the edge. You walk your feet forward. Then slowly, deliberately, you bend your elbows and lower your body, not just dropping down, but owning every inch of the descent. Then you push back up. That's it. Simple but absolutely revealing. Because this movement exposes everything, from weak triceps and tight shoulders to a stiff spine and collapsed posture. And that's exactly why it's so powerful. You're not just working your arms. You're restoring your body's ability to press, to support itself, to generate force through the upper body with grace and control. Now here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Pressing strength is one of the first things to go as we age. Not pulling, not squatting, but pushing. And the scariest part? It happens slowly, quietly. You go years avoiding push-ups, overhead work, or bodyweight pressing, and then one day, you try to catch yourself in a fall or push yourself up from the floor, and your body fails you. But it doesn't have to be that way. Chair dips start to bring it back, piece by piece. You learn how to keep your shoulders from shrugging. You teach your elbows to bend under control, not just collapse. You engage your core, support your spine, and begin to rebuild the push pattern that life demands from you. And when done properly, no momentum, no shortcuts, no flared ribs or jammed shoulders, it becomes one of the most therapeutic strength drills you can do at home, without equipment, without noise, and without ego. What most people get wrong is trying to crank out reps too fast. But this isn't about reps. This is about connection. Feel your triceps stretch. Feel your shoulders glide. Feel your ribs stay stacked, your core engaged. This is strength with awareness, and that's what makes it last. And the best part? You don't need a gym, you don't need weight. You just need a chair, a little patience, and the willingness to slow down and relearn how to push yourself up, literally and metaphorically. So where does this take you? You rebuild strength in your arms, shoulders, and chest, the kind that matters when it's time to get up, catch yourself, or move through the world with confidence. You reawaken posture, you decompress the shoulder joint, and you stop outsourcing your strength to machines and momentum. You stop getting stuck. This isn't about dips. It's about reclaiming something essential in your ability to rise. Because the truth is, your independence begins with being able to push yourself back up when life tries to keep you down. Look, you have a choice. You either build a body that lasts or one that breaks down. These 5 patterns, they're the difference. They are the foundation. That's it for today. If you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new workouts and tips. Let's keep getting stronger together. See you in the next video.